Imagine when the whole world's eyes were on giant companies like Tesla and BYD, Britain quietly launched an electric car whose price stunned people. This EV has arrived in the market for just $6,399 USD, and it is being called Britain's cheapest new car. But it is not only cheap. This car has come with such powerful features that it has shaken the entire global EV industry. Now everyone has only one question in their mind: what is so special about it? What is the technology that makes it so different? And the biggest question, is it a warning bell for other companies? What technology has been used in it at such a low price? In this video, we will tell you the whole story of this small but tremendous EV car, how it came out of the streets of Britain and became the talk of experts around the world. We will also talk about its range, speed, features, and that one special secret that made it a trend. So let's move ahead in the video. But before that, make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you can be the first to see such amazing videos. Before knowing about that mini EV from Britain, let's know a little about the EV market of Britain. In the last few years, the craze for electric vehicles has increased very rapidly in Britain. There was a time when people considered electric cars to be only for the rich or experimental. But now the situation is such that every second vehicle is becoming electric or hybrid. People themselves are now looking for clean and cheap options away from petrol and diesel, and the government is also supporting them in this. The British government has made it clear that it will completely stop the sale of new vehicles with petrol and diesel engines by 2035. This means that now the only way left for automobile companies is to turn their lineup towards electric. Otherwise, they will have to exit the market. If we talk about figures, about 3.5 lakh electric vehicles were sold in Britain in the year 2024. This figure is about 18% more than last year. And the surprising thing is that these were not just EVs from expensive companies like Tesla or BMW, but mid-range and now low-priced vehicles also sold well. Cars like Nissan Leaf, MG4 EV, and Vauxhall Corsa Electric were well received by people. The biggest reason for this was their price, low maintenance cost, and growing charging network. Earlier, people were afraid that if they buy an electric car, where will they charge it? But now, there are more than 50,000 public charging points in Britain, thousands of which are fast charging. And about 1,000 new charging points are being installed every month. This has had a direct impact on the sale of vehicles. Now people have started buying EVs even for long-distance travel because the worry of charging on the way has reduced. Another interesting thing is that in Britain, the government also gives tax exemption and some subsidy to people on buying electric vehicles. Earlier, grants were given on buying EVs, and now exemption is given in road tax and company tax. This also motivates companies to choose EV for their employees. This means that EV is no longer just a private vehicle. It has now become an important part of company car and taxi fleets. Now the question arises, why are companies moving towards electric so fast? The simple answer is changing laws, changing thinking, and changing market. People are now concerned about the environment. Petrol and diesel prices keep fluctuating, and maintenance is also high. On the other hand, the cost of running an EV is many times less than petrol. Once fully charged, the car runs for 150 to 250 kilometers and costs around £1–2, which is much cheaper than petrol. Apart from this, companies also now have to follow the rules of carbon emission. If they sell more polluting vehicles, they will have to pay a heavy fine. Therefore, now companies like Ford, VW, Nissan, BMW are focusing on their EV lineup. And amidst this whole environment, Some small and new companies are coming up, which are not making high-tech and expensive electric vehicles like giants like Tesla, but are making cheap and useful electric vehicles for the common people. And from here comes a name like Dogood Zero, which caught everyone's attention by launching an EV for just $6,399. Amidst the rapidly changing trend, a mini car like Dogood Zero made an entry, which has now become a topic of discussion not only in Britain, but all over the world. Why did the price of Dogood Zero surprise everyone? Just think, when the prices of electric cars in the world are running above $30,000, then if a company brings a new EV for just $6,399 USD, then it will be surprising. This is what Dogood Zero has done. The price of this car is so low that people first thought it to be a rumor. But when the truth came out, everyone's eyes were wide open. Now the question arises, how was such a cheap car made? What is the magic in this, that while other companies spend lakhs of rupees to make a mid-level EV, Dogood Zero did the same job in just a few $1,000s? The answer lies in smart cost engineering and clever planning. Dogood Zero's company decided from the very beginning that they did not want to make a futuristic showpiece, but to make a car that a common man can buy and use it in everyday tasks. For this, they worked on cost optimization instead of cost cutting everywhere. First, let's talk about the size and design. Dogood Zero is a small city car, meaning it has neither a large body nor a heavy steel frame. Its design is minimal, only as much material as is necessary. The advantage of a small body is that less steel and fiber had to be used, which automatically reduced the cost. Apart from this, the company used parts that are already available in the market in large quantities. That is, cheap parts were ordered in bulk from existing suppliers instead of custom manufacturing. The second big factor is localization. Dogood Zero has been completely designed and assembled within the UK. This eliminated things like transportation, import duty, and foreign supplier dependency. The more parts were made local, the cheaper the production was. And this was not a compromise. The company combined local labor and local technology in such a way that the quality was maintained and the price was under control. Now, let's come to technology and battery, which is the most expensive part of any EV. Dogood Zero showed wisdom here too. They have used lithium iron phosphate batteries instead of high-end lithium-ion NMC batteries, which are cheaper, safer, and perfect for small cars with short range. Also, the battery size was kept small so that the car can run 150 to 180 km on a full charge, which is enough for city driving. This not only reduces the cost of the battery, but also keeps the charging system simple and cheap. Another interesting thing is that some of the fancy features in this car have been removed, like a big infotainment system, leather seats, automatic wipers, etc. They have been replaced with basic digital displays, simple fabric seats, and manual controls, which are less expensive but get the job done. This is smart cutting, which does not offer luxury but definitely fulfills the need. And the most important factor, the company's business model. Dogood Zero is not sold through any big dealer network. It is available directly on online order. No middlemen, no extra commission. This keeps the company's margins tight, but reduces the price for the customer. Also, limited variants reduce inventory costs. Dogood Zero didn't make a substandard car or a weak car, but made the car with every penny in mind. They kept the size small, removed unnecessary features, installed affordable batteries, sourced parts from local suppliers, and adopted a direct-to-customer model, and that's why the car came in at just £6,399. Range and battery technology. Amazing simplicity. The biggest feature of Dogood Zero is not just its price, but that, even at such a low price, it has a wisely chosen battery technology. While big companies increase the price by installing advanced and expensive batteries in EVs, Dogood Zero has used a battery system that is cheap, durable, and reliable, keeping in mind the need and simplicity. First of all, talking about the range, Dogood Zero can run for about 150 to 180 kilometers on a full charge. Now, some people may say that this range is much less than cars like Tesla, but the thing to think about is that this car is a city mini EV. Its purpose is short-distance travel, like office, college, shop, station, or local market. And according to that, a range of 150 to 180 kilometers is perfect. Now let's come to the battery type. LFP, i.e. lithium iron phosphate battery, has been used in this car. Now, you must be thinking, what is this? It can store more energy, but is expensive and a bit fragile. It gives a little less range, but is very cheap, safe, and long-lasting. Dogood Zero wisely chose LFP battery. This means that this car is not only made at a low cost, but it also proves to be better in terms of its maintenance and safety. LFP batteries do not overheat, do not deteriorate quickly, and perform well even in changing temperatures, meaning they are durable in all weather conditions. Now, talking about the charging time, Dogood Zero can be fully charged in 6 to 7 hours with a normal household charger. That means you plug it in the charger at night and wake up in the morning with a ready car. And if you use a fast charging station, it gets charged up to 80% in about 2 to 3 hours. This time is considered to be quite good for this category of car. Another important question is, does this car have the option of battery swapping? The answer to this is not at the moment. The battery of Dogood Zero is fixed, which means you will have to charge it. But because its size is small and the battery is not high voltage, it is not too heavy, and charging does not take much time either. The company believes that installing a swappable battery system would increase the cost, and the entire infrastructure would have to be created, which is not possible in low-cost EV models at present. Another point that is important to talk about is the life of the battery. The biggest advantage of LFP batteries is that they can easily withstand 3,000 to 4,000 charging cycles. This means that even if you drive 150 km daily, the battery can last you for 8 to 10 years without any major issues. What's more, the Dogood Zero's battery is easy to recycle. At a time when environmental concerns have become a major concern in the world, such durable and recyclable batteries are a positive signal for the EV industry. The Dogood Zero's battery technology may not be fancy, but it is useful. It is a setup that has been designed keeping in mind the needs of the common man, not for those who want long distances, but for those who want easy, affordable, and safe everyday travel. Speed, size, and city performance. Is it a smart choice? When Dogood Zero is called a mini EV, many people think that it is probably just a small toy that is limited to the city streets. But the reality is much more interesting than this. This car is only small in size, but the thought behind it is very big. That every person should get the right to an electric vehicle. Now, let's talk about its speed. The top speed of Dogood Zero is around 70 kilometers per hour. This speed may sound a little low, but you don't need more than this in city traffic. Most of the traffic in urban areas runs between 40 to 60 kilometers per hour. In such a situation, this speed is absolutely perfect, neither too slow nor is there a fear of overspeeding. Its size makes it even more useful. Dogood Zero is a compact two-seater car whose length is slightly more than a normal scooter. That is, this car runs very easily on the narrow streets of the city, amidst traffic, or in crowded parking. Where a big SUV thinks thrice before entering, this mini car moves without hesitation. Now imagine, whether you have to go to office in the morning, or drop the kids to school, or go to buy groceries in the evening, the size of this car is beneficial everywhere. Small bends, U-turns, narrow lanes, ramps of flyovers. It is easy to turn it everywhere. As far as city performance is concerned, the engine of Dogood Zero is specially designed, keeping in mind urban use. The torque is available immediately in it, which means as soon as the accelerator is pressed, the car starts moving swiftly. It is perfect for small but important tasks like getting out of traffic lights, overtaking, and getting out of jams. Now talking about its target customer, this car is not made only for car lovers, but for every common man. Students who want to go to college every day, working class who don't want to face the hassle of office crowd, delivery agents who want to make more deliveries in less distance, or senior citizens who want a simple and safe vehicle. This EV is a perfect fit for all of them. Another special feature of this is low maintenance and silent ride. No more engine noise, no tension of gears. Just press a button and the vehicle starts moving, as easy as driving a mobile. So if the question is whether Dogood Zero is a smart choice or not, then the answer is simple. If you spend your life in the hustle and bustle of the city, if you want an affordable, durable, and easy vehicle, then this EV is not just a choice, but a perfect companion. Is this an alarm for EV companies? The first question that arises after seeing the entry of Dogood Zero is this: is this an alarm bell for other EV companies? And the answer is yes. There is every possibility that this small but smart car can force big companies to think. Because Dogood Zero is not just a car, but has brought a new trend: affordable EV for everyone. So far, companies like Tesla, BYD, Nissan have been selling EV as a high-tech, premium, and status symbol. There is no doubt that their cars are great, but at the same time, their price is also out of the reach of the common man. Be it Tesla Model 3 or BYD Seal, these cars cost more than $30,000, whereas Dogood Zero came in just $6,399 USD. This is the thing that caught everyone's attention. In fact, models like the Dogood Zero have raised a big question. Will EV now remain a vehicle for the rich only, or will it be within the reach of everyone? And if in the future people start choosing cheaper and smarter EVs, then this will be no less than a warning bell for big companies. Now let's talk about market disruption. The EV market is already very competitive. Companies are competing with each other in terms of technology, range, charging time, and features. But now the new battle that has begun is: who can make the cheapest and most durable EV? And brands like the Dogood Zero can win in this, because they have shown that a useful EV can be made even without much fuss. This challenge also becomes serious for big companies because their production models are very heavy. A company like Tesla has to change factories to reduce the cost of its vehicles, bring in new battery technology, and it takes years to bring down the price of everything. On the other hand, new and small companies like Dogood Zero are flexible. They can try new things without any big brand pressure. Apart from this, the entry-level EV market is still completely open. That is, the segment of affordable electric vehicles made for common people is still quite empty. If more companies like Dogood Zero follow this path, then the entire face of the EV market can change in the coming few years. On the other hand, big companies may take it lightly at this time. But if they do not bring entry-level EV in their product portfolio in time, then their market share can slowly slip. Especially in countries like India, Africa, Latin America, and South Asia, where the purchasing power of the people is limited. Cars like Dogood Zero can sell very fast. So in the end, it can be said that cars like Dogood Zero are not just a cheap option, But this is a big question. Should EV be only for the rich or for every person who needs cheap, clean, and smart travel? If big companies don't take this question seriously, companies like Dogood will soon go from trend to transformation. And then the alarm bells will really ring. Dogood Zero's next step, not limited to Britain only. When Dogood Zero entered Britain, probably no one thought that this small mini EV would become such a big buzz. But as soon as the news of its price and features came out, people from all over the world started looking at it. Now, the question is, will Dogood Zero be limited to Britain only? Or will it also enter big markets like Europe, Asia, and America? It is clear from the initial signals of the company that Dogood does not want to remain just a local car. Its aim is to reach every country where people are looking for affordable, sustainable, and smart EV. And if we look at this thinking, then its next step could be Europe and Asia. There is already a tremendous demand for EV in Europe, but the problem there is expensive vehicles. Models like Dogood Zero can prove to be the best option for the middle class there. Asia, especially countries like India, Indonesia, Vietnam, are like a gold mine for Dogood. Small vehicles ply on the roads here. Petrol prices are constantly increasing. And governments are also promoting electric vehicles. In such a situation, if Dogood Zero is launched in a country like India, it can give a direct competition to cars like Maruti Alto, Tata Tiago EV, and MG Comet, and that too with a huge lead in terms of price. But doing all this is not so easy. Every country has its own homologation requirements, that is, the standards and safety tests set for driving a car there. For example, in the US, before launching a car, it has to go through many processes like crash tests, emission standards, even if it is an EV, and software validations. Similarly, in India too, approval has to be taken from institutions like ARI. Dogood Zero will have to make minor changes to its car to suit the laws and testing standards of each country if it wants to export globally, like the number of airbags, seatbelt alert system, reverse sensors, or battery safety cover. These changes can prove to be a bit costly for a small company, but if there is demand, it will be worth the investment. Some company sources believe that Dogood Zero is currently working on pilot testing and dealership tie-ups in select countries. Their strategy is to first go to countries where EV adoption is growing rapidly and government support is also good, like Netherlands, Norway, or emerging markets like India. The US may be a bit of a tough market for Dogood Zero, as there are more strict rules regarding the size, safety, and speed of vehicles there. But a specific segment there, like college students or urban commuters, can take it with open arms, provided the company upgrades some features and tunes it according to American standards. If Dogood Zero is able to adapt its model to international laws in the coming years and find the right local partners, then this car can become a global trend. And then maybe Tesla or BYD will also realize that the real threat is not from big complex EVs, but from such mini but powerful models which directly connect with the general public. Shock of features. What all are you getting at such a low price? The first thing that comes to everyone's mind after seeing Dogood Zero is this. It is so cheap, so what will you get in it? But as soon as you see its list of features, it is natural to be shocked, because this car proves that cheap does not mean featureless. And the real wonder is giving great at a low price. In Dogood Zero, you get a powerful digital display that shows all the important information like driving speed, battery status, charging level, and range at a glance. It may not have a touchscreen, but the display given is very simple and clear, meaning technology as well as ease. The car also comes with an air conditioner, which is a big deal in this price range. Most cheap cars either don't have an AC or have a very basic one, but the Dogood Zero has a good cooling system that keeps you cool even on hot summer days. Apart from this, it also includes features like Bluetooth connectivity, USB charging port, rear parking sensor, and digital speedometer, meaning you are getting so much for just Rs 6 lakh USD 6,300 that too in an electric car. The boot space is also smartly designed, where you can keep daily use items like groceries, bags, or office supplies. The seats can also be folded so that a little more luggage can be accommodated if needed. Now let's come to the part that really made this car viral: the reaction of the people of Britain. As soon as the first glimpse of the Dogood Zero came on social media, Twitter and TikTok were flooded. Someone called it "New Revolution of EV," while someone else wrote, "Cycles do not even come to Britain in this time. Where did EV come from?" Thousands of people created review videos on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, highlighting its compact size, features, and smooth ride. Local automobile bloggers and YouTubers took it for test drives and reported how the vehicle handles city traffic without any lag. Auto reviewers also gave a positive response to the Dogood Zero. They believe that even though the car is not meant for high-speed highways, it is an ideal option for cities, especially for those who want an affordable, durable, and maintenance-free vehicle. Some called it a postal van, while others called it the taxi of the future. But everyone was of the opinion that it has given other companies a reason to think. Local news channels tagged it as Britain's cheapest EV, and in some places it became so popular that the pre-booking server went down. Dogood Zero has proved that when the idea is true and the purpose is to serve the common man, a big brand or a huge budget is not necessary. Smart ideas and precise planning can also make a splash in the market. So friends, if you also want to see such powerful and interesting videos first, then subscribe to the channel before moving on to the video, so that the next EV story reaches you first.